Hi, Eileen Hull here at Scrapbook.com for Sizzix. Today we're going to take one of my dies from Vintage Kitchen, make this cute little 3D oven. The technique that we'll be focusing on is how to add paper to your mat board to add a nice pop of color on all your designs. So the materials that you're going to need to make this project is a double-sided cardstock if you want, or you can use just regular paper, but I like how using the double-sided because the two sides coordinate. So we're going to cut the oven out twice. Here's the die that we'll be using. So there are two pieces to it. One is the little housing for it, and then this is the drawer that slides in, or the oven part. So these will be separate. So what we're going to do is put paper on one side and the other side of the paper on another piece of mat board and cut them out separately. The reason is that this die extends beyond the 12 inches. In order to fit everything, we had to lay it out so that it went beyond the 12 inches. So you have to use two different pieces of paper, and ask me how I know this because it went off the page here. So I did it the way you're supposed to do it. So what I'm gonna do is take my one extended cutting pad, put that down on the bottom. Now I'm going to cut an extra piece because this piece here is gonna fold to the back. So if you wanna have another piece that is in the front of this little oven front, you need another piece of that. So I'm gonna lay that down and cut that at the same time. In fact, I'm going to lay this on top just so I know that it's in the right position. And now this I have cut to fit, and I'm going to place that on top. I was running out of paper, or I would have covered the whole thing, but you know, that's life. So I'm going to run this through. And then we're going to have our nice little piece that goes in the front. Okay, so that is this piece right here. And here's this extra because, as you'll see, when we fold it up, this will be the back side. So we want another piece to go here. So now we're going to assemble that. So the way that we're going to do that is first to adhere this down. I really like this side better, so I'm going to use some double-sided or some super stick to stick that down. And then you just line it up. It should line up perfectly. And press. Might have a little glue in the way and just wipe that off. Okay. You just want to make sure that's down all the way because you're going to be gluing the rest of the little surround here around that. Now the way that you do that is I'm going to take, you can either use zip dry or Fabri-Tac works fine. So I'm going to take my Fabri-Tac glue and just run a little line of it right here. And then I'm going to run it along the line here. Then we're going to fold this up and around and set it down right onto the backing. Then I'm going to take some rubber bands to hold this together and in place. Just want to make sure the sides are even. And then I'm going to add another rubber band to secure it to the back. And I'm going to set that aside. And if you get a little glue on there, you can just wipe it off. Okay, now we're going to make our little drawer. And this one I did have a full sheet, so I'm just going to lay that down, make sure that I cover the right part on the die. I like the back that it's contrasting. So when you're working with paper, you just want to make sure that the right side of the material is facing your die, because you're going to bend away from the scores and this is going to wind up on front. Okay. Okay, I'm going to run this through. So now we have a little drawer. And what I'm going to do here is, sometimes I like to take the paper off, because sometimes if it's not adhered all the way down, it will come off after you put on the adhesive and you have to do it all over again. So I just remove the paper on there, and then it's mat board to mat board. And then I'm going to use, again, my iCraft tape from ThermoWeb to put this together. I'm going to run a line down here and one here. I love that you don't have to cut that. And then we're going to go around and break on all our score lines and press down our tabs so it's easier and it stays in place once we tape it together. Oops. Okay. So the way this goes together is just wraps around. Usually I do this piece first to kind of get it in position. Make sure it's on the fold there. And then this just folds over these tabs. You just want to center it and make sure it's even and square. The good thing about this is you can use either side. You can have a little window like an oven, or if you want to have something where you keep things inside and you don't want it seen, you can use this side, so it's reversible. I've done it putting packaging right here, clear packaging, and then a cute little cupcake kind of thing in here. So, and then let's take it apart and see. It should be dry by now. And then slide this in. Okay, I like to have some kind of closure that makes it easier to pull in and out, because sometimes when you cover it with paper, it will make the pattern a little bit larger or wider, so you might need a little more pull on there. So I like to add like a little button or something to open and close it. And then I just added a little scrap of twine and button up here to finish it off.